straightforward. Now we're going to be live. And if you go over to your channel on your mobile device, you should be able to see. And I'm going to stop the share and go to videos. Should I go live
or stay here?
You just stay here.
Okay.
I'll look. I'll be looking to see.
Look.
I will. Because I'm doing this from my computer. And I can use my mobile device to look. I don't see here, though, that we are live. So hang on. Let me look. It says we are.
Let me look on my page, too.
Yeah, my Zoom says we're live on YouTube, but when I'm looking on your page, I don't see any live broadcasts.
Here.
Oh, so you're good.
We're actually live.
There we are.
Goofing around here.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Danny. Guys, I'll be a little bit, to the side here, chatting with you guys for the most part, and with K-Moon, our special guest today, talking about astrology for those interested. We got a bunch of people. If you would like to take question, be my guest, but it's a lot.
Well, I'm excited to be here with you. Thank you so much for the opportunity to chat with you about astrology and reading and all the good things. It's a treat to chat. We have some things we want to talk about, but I'll just open by saying my absolute favorite thing about this conversation and collaboration that we get to do today is having the conversation about the collaboration between tarot and astrology. One of the things I love and respect about the way you read, Allie, is how thorough and how thoughtful you are in every reading, no matter which sign you're doing or whether it's the all signs energy checkup. I love the way you spell out for people, here are the energies, but here are your choices.
Yeah, free will, right?
Yeah.
Choice.
We're not locked into anything.
No.
And so people will frequently come to me from an astrological perspective and they'll say, hey, tell me what's my destiny, or tell me what my exact purpose is, or tell me, is my person meant to be with me? And those questions kind of consistently abdicate our free will. They consistently, abdicate our power. And I think one of the reasons why you and I vibe the way we do is when I read for you, when I've seen you read for me on your channel and whatnot, we consistently come back to that bottom line. Here are the energies, what the stars give, what I'm reading intuitively from the tarot, but here are your choices.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for that. That was a whole lot to absorb and watch everybody as they're saying stuff. Apparently, they can't see your screen.
No, I'm going to share screen once we start getting into questions.
Okay.
We'll see if there are any questions that
just wanted to make sure that. Yeah, just wanted to make sure that they can hear you, though. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear K-Moon? I think
Thanks, Amanda. Thanks, Mason. Awesome. Okay. Aloha, everyone. Thank you.
Yes, they can hear you. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so astrology. We're gonna switch it up to you. Enough about me and my picking up on energies and then telling people what to do with them.
But that's the thing, you don't. You just say, here's what you can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop being a Grinch and ruining your own Christmas. Do some good things.
You gotta be a Grinch sometimes. But Yeah, astrology. It's definitely a topic that interested me for a very long time. I always get distracted when I'm trying to learn, and then by something else that I need to learn. And then I actually saw you posting recently about this these classes that you're starting, and I was very, very curious. Unfortunately, I have a lot of stuff going on in my personal life, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be joining them right now, but I thought of everybody else that is watching me, and I'm sure a lot of people would be interested. So there it is. You asked about manifestation. It's happening. I'm presenting you to them pretty much. So
Awesome.
um, tell us about it a little bit. About
Okay.
astrology for the most part, how it correlates with tarot. Let's start there, and then we'll get into slowly but surely into the classes and into the school.
That sounds good. So, both are methods of divination. There are many others. One of the things that astrology can do is it can really pinpoint by the movement of the planets what is happening in our lives collectively as those energies make angles to planet Earth. And so, astrology, astronomy is essentially the study of the planets and the solar system and the movements of them, calculations, etc. But astrology is the interpretation of what those movements and calculations actually mean for us here on Earth. We're all made of the same solar stuff. And so, as we are all one thing, the energies can be read directly from the quantum, which is what happens when we pull tarot. We're pulling the energies straight from the quantum. Or you can look at it through the stars and see, okay, here's what it means. Frequently, the best tarot readers that I have found are the ones who are tapped into the stars without ever needing to read a chart. And you happen to be one of them.
Thank you.
Like, oh, yeah, that's exactly what's happening, Allie. I'm impressed you picked up on it. So I'm excited for you to join Star School when you're ready.
Can't wait.
Um, yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Um, it should be a lot of fun. So, yeah, there's class openings. So I do have a channel on YouTube for those of you who are new to me. It is K Moon, and you're welcome to find me over there. If you would like to check out some of the types of readings I do and get a feel for it. But for those of you who already know me, and for those of you who are like, yeah, I need to learn this astrology stuff because I feel like Pluto has been hitting my sun too hard. Why is 2020 so hard? There's there's a place where you can learn certain things about astrology called Star School, and it's my star school is my way of being able to share with everyone. Here is how you read the stars. Here's how you can interpret them for yourself, and here is how you can learn from other people. Or not from other people. Here's how you can learn about other people, the people you love, your kids, your spouse, your significant other, your soulmate. You can learn all about who they are through Star School.
And could you, is that for everybody or just for special kinds of relationships that we like to
Yeah.
call, divine connections, or is it for
Yeah.
everybody?
Yeah. So a lot of my work is really based and focused on serving the Twin Flame, Twin Soul Collective. However, my divine guidance around this has been that so many of the relationships, whether you label them soulmate or ascension partner, even the people who you might call karmic or false twin, can sometimes present in the energy of divine connection. And the reason for that is because energetically, they're catalyzing your own spiritual growth and development, no matter what the label is. And so, Star School 101 and Star School 201 are actually both built for you to learn about your divine connection, no matter what the label is. So you'll find that the information applies to you if you are being spiritually stimulated to grow in a love connection, no matter what the label for your connection is.
Mm.
So I don't know, we should put a link in here for people. Do you want to, can you put a link in your chat? I'll see if I can put a
Uh,
link in your chat and people
I
can
think
find
I
it.
can. Let me find it though.
So if people want to go and just check it out, they can.
Mm.
But the interesting thing about these kinds of connections is that there's seasons to them, right? The way these kinds of connections work is that the soul growth in them, it can feel just a bit like, why am I constantly learning and learning? Is this ever going to go anywhere? Are we ever going to get together? And can the stars tell me if they can help? And the answer is yes. The stars can give you information about when it's supportive times for coming together and when it's times when it's tricky to come together. And I'll just show you guys the page in case you're wanting to register, you can. Um, but I'm curious for the listeners, who are in the world of I've been on a twin soul or soulmate or divine connection journey for a while. What questions do you have about the stars that I can answer? And then there's the page. You can just check that out. I just shared screen. And then if you just come down here, you see Star School. You just click that and you can sign up. But it's also up here under classes. Okay. So you go to classes, you should be able to find it. But yeah, let's hear what the listeners have to say. I'm really curious what they would like to know.
Okay, let's hear from the listeners.
And Allie, if you have other questions about astrology or anything like that,
Um,
just let me know.
I'll pick up on the questions. I'll make a mark of the questions that jump. But while I'm doing that, can you explain the difference between Star School 101 and 102? 201, 102.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're both 4-week courses, and in the 4-week courses, they're all pre-recorded, and you'll get the opportunity to learn at your pace at a time that's convenient for you. You don't actually have to, come to the live class. You can listen when you're ready. And the first course is, just astro basics. Like this, if for anyone who just doesn't know what a moon or Pluto or Uranus is, will get your feet wet. But for those of you who already know, the fun thing about it is that you're also going to get information about what is it. It's a workshop style class. So we're going to get information and dig into your particular chart. What does it mean when your moon is in the third house in Pisces? What does it mean when your Pluto's in the seventh house in Sagittarius? We're going to dive in so that you can see for yourself, oh, this is how I'm built. And if you've already done astrology before, the 101 class is really ideal because the workshop layout of it and design of it and the workbook you get in the 101 class, you don't have to do that for your chart. You can do this for somebody else's chart, and it'll help start to decode their thinking, their patterns, why the heck they communicate the way they communicate. And you'll better understand why sometimes people do the hot and cold thing. Sometimes some of that is written into people's personality. And you'll also understand, why sometimes or when it's really a good time to connect with someone. And you can get a lot of that out of Star School 101. And Star School 201, we're going to dive a lot deeper into divine connection, soulmate, what is it, how to read it in a chart, what are the periods and seasons of it, how to know what the lessons are, how to know why you're drawn and soul bound to the person that you're drawn to. And we're going to look deep inside, how to unravel the timing of this connection. If there's a separation window, when, how long, how does it work? what's supposed to be being learned during that time. And if there's a union window, for when, how long, should I reach out or not? We'll talk about all of that in 201.
Great. I'm trying to really find a question for you here in the chat, but it's really hard to do that.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones here.
There are, you can, by all means, if you see one that jumps out of you, please
Thank,
go for it.
thanks, New Jersey Rock Girl. I appreciate you really bringing that answer in. I see that you just jumped in with some answers for people.
Yeah, she's my
Thank you.
moderator, so
She's great. She's a great moderator.
yep.
Um, uh, let's see. I'm a fan of Alley too, Lyle Music.
Not those questions, guys. Take time and a place.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. MMA. How do we find out our moon, rising, or Venus? Get our birth time from birth certificate. Yeah. So you can do a couple of things. I have a place on my website, kmoonastro.com, where you can grab your birth chart. So just you can head over there and you can get your birth chart, and that'll tell you your rising, your Venus, your sun sign, your moon, all of that. Your birth certificate, you do need your birth time, which for most people is on their birth certificate. But you don't have to always have that. Like, let's say you wanted to enroll in Star School, but you didn't have your birth certificate. I'll be teaching you how to use both what's called a sunrise chart and a midday chart, and how to calculate off the planets from the sun as opposed to your actual birth time. I'll be teaching you a secondary way. Thank you, Northern Comfort. I really appreciate that. Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Mars is in retrograde, HA says, and Mercury next month. And Mercury will also be retrograde next month. Do we have to brace for anything major after that? Is the end of 2020 looking better? Well,
Question.
I'll quickly go over what the end of 2020 looks like. Most of what's happening in 2020, the retrogrades can't be talked about individually because they're happening in tandem as one large container. And so there's a large stellium of energy that's hanging out. And I'll just bring up the full moon in Aries chart and screen share. So I haven't even revealed this information on my channel, but I'll share it with you guys real quick so you can get a sense of just like how all of this works. So this is what a chart looks like for many people. I've had people tell me, oh my gosh, this looks like gobbledygook. For me, this looks like a giant encyclopedia. So here's the planet Mars right down here in Aries. It is retrograde. By the time we get to the full moon in Aries here, it's already retrograde. And we've got Mercury, which is about to go retrograde in Scorpio. But Mercury's not working alone. Mercury here is going to have some conversations with Neptune in its retrograde cycle. And it's also going to have some conversations here with Juno, whom I read as the divine feminine, if you're exploring divine connections in your life right now. The Mars retrograde energy is, see how close it is to Lilith down there? Lilith is at 27 degrees right here. Mars is at 24 degrees. Normally, we think of Mars as being like fire, and we think of Mars as being the masculine energy, and we think of it as being war. But in the way that I read, I've actually been shown that all the planets are actually very neutral. And the neutrality of it, you can go light or shadow depending upon the energies. Hey, Felix. Depending upon who comes to talk with that planet. So, in terms of do we have to brace for anything, the answer is yes, because Mars is actually being pulled into its shadow energy, not into its light energy. You can transmute and use light, but the thing that's going on here is Mars is squaring this heavy duty ending energy here that's been happening in Capricorn, that's caused the pandemic, that's brought forward all this craziness out in life. So the square, which is a 90-degree difficult angle, and I'll be teaching you how to read all of this by class number 3 of 101. All of this is going to make sense to you. It'll be that easy to pick up. But because Mars is making a square to this heavy duty ending energy, yes, what you need to brace for is just that people out in the world around you are going to be very easily triggered. You're probably already seeing this, that people are on edge. Go to the gas station, people are on edge. Go to the grocery store, people are on edge. um,
Outside
and
of your house, people are on edge.
yeah, exactly. Leave your house, people
Yeah.
are on edge. And so all you really want to do in terms of bracing for it is just understand that this is what's in the energy for people who are unconscious. You all, by way of being told right at this moment, are now conscious. You don't have to get puppeteered by this energy. Instead, you can make the choice to go, okay, let me take a step back. I'm just going to breathe. People, for those of us who are conscious, people will project a lot of their stuff. And you don't have to just immediately respond and then take your triggers and project back onto them. The Mars retrograde will end and come out of shadow, and we'll be in a different energy. By the December time, it's a 6-month period of time of Mars in Aries, which is new. Not a 6 month, sorry. It's a long-term stay. Mars has actually been here for a couple months now. It'll be here through the end of the year. So the fun thing about this is that Mars is asking all of us, because Mars had a conversation with Chiron, the wounded healer and the teacher, has a conversation with Lilith, what our true needs are and our willingness to go after them. Because of that, this Mars energy is actually helping us dig deep into our own wounds and how we can transmute them into power. And so that is a great question. And this is the kind of stuff we're going to unpack in Star School. So, yeah, I'm curious. Let's see what other questions. You guys are so kind. I'm so glad to see you donating to Allie's channel. She's a rock star. I love that. You've got such a great audience.
I think they're all here for Felix, to be honest with you. I don't think
Felix
it's
is
me.
sweet. Oh, I don't know.
I think it's the cat that does it. Uh, very cool things.
Yeah, yeah.
There are a lot of questions I noticed about Lilith.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about Lilith, because
Um,
she's having such a big conversation with Mars this year. Um, so here's the mythology around Lilith. And in the 101 class, we'll get into some of the mythology, but we won't be doing asteroids. We're just going to be doing the basic planets. In the 201 class, we'll get into some of the female voices in the asteroids. So in the Lilith was created as the first wife of Adam, right? And so God gave Lilith in the mythology the same deal he gave Eve. You're going to stay in this garden, you're going to eat this food, you're going to ignore the snake, make Adam some babies, don't eat from this tree, eat all the rest of this stuff, hang out here, I'll be back to check on you. And, Lilith kind of went ahead and said, man, no, I'm good on that. I don't really feel like doing that. And she departed the garden. And that was kind of her entry point into other mythology around her. But it was the thing to note, the key power move there for her was, I would rather take the complete unknown. I'd rather walk away completely from, the people I know, the creator I know, where I know I'm safe, than take what I have here. There's got to be something better than this. And that's the core energy of Lilith. She would rather take her chances on getting what's best for her, even if she doesn't know if she can get it, then stick around for something that's halfway.
A little rebel there, Lilith.
She needs to have it her way, and she's not having anything less. And so, because she's having a very large conversation this year with Mars during the Mars retrograde, that the neutral energy of Mars is outward projecting. It is going forward, taking what you want. It's ambition, it's drive, it's motor energy. It's the engine. Because she's having that conversation with Mars, there's now this click between them where it's a real motivation to go get what we want and take absolutely nothing less, even if sometimes we might have to shoot our own self in the foot or run over other people's toes. Lilith is hellbound to get exactly what she wants. And so that's an interesting energy there. She is wonderfully astute at providing us and getting us in touch with our personal power when it comes to our lives. And so I like this energy for people. I think a lot of us are realizing in 2020, we've had a lot of time to reflect. We've had a lot of time to see what's not working in our lives. And this Mars Lilith conversation at the end of the year, for those of us who are conscious, and now you guys are, because I'm telling you, this Mars Lilith energy is giving us the oomph we need to transform our lives.
Hope so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would listen to these stories forever.
They're all in Star School 101. We're going to do a lot of deep diving on them.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So, other questions. I see this one here from Ayush Keswal. I lost my job on a tight deadline. Will I get a new job soon? I'm a Cap. I just want to speak to my special friends who are Capricorns, Cancers, Libras, and Aries right now. I'm sure you've been seeing it in your readings that these 4 signs are kind of getting a hit this year. Yeah.
Capricorn, especially.
Yeah. Capricorn, especially. Let me just share a screen again. Cap, you guys have been getting the hit because of this energy here. Normally, there's not this much energy hanging out in one sign for this long. This energy started last year with Saturn. Then Pluto came. Well, Pluto was here already, but Saturn came to join. And this year, Jupiter has kind of, put a booster pack on this energy. The Saturnian energy here is a return to integrity. In the mythology around Saturn, and I'm going to put this in here for you, Saturn was one of the original children of Gaia, and he was granted the Lord of order and time. He governed when the seasons changed. Now, there was a period of time when his mom, Gaia, was having a hard time with her man that she created herself, the heavens, Uranus. She created her man to wrap around her because she was sick of it just being her and her babies. She was like, I'm going to need a lover. So, presto, just like that, Allie, she snapped her finger and she made a lover. And so, one of the interesting things about this story is that she made this lover. However, her lover began to do something really harmful. He didn't like their co-created children. He started to try to push the babies back inside of her. Now, you don't have to be a rocket scientist or an astrologer to know that if you're pushing babies back inside of a woman trying to get birth, not only is it not safe for the baby and the mom, it's probably not going to be safe for you. It's not a good idea. Don't do it. So Gaia says, I'm going to need one of my children to help me out. Saturn says, what do you want me to do? She says, castrate him. Saturn does. And Saturn then gains the reputation of being the harsh teacher. Saturn's transit here through Capricorn is what's been causing so much of the difficulty. However, Saturn hasn't separated from you from that job as well. Saturn liberated you from that job. And there's a big difference. Saturn only takes away that which was causing us harm, that which didn't serve our integrity and wholeness and allow us to be who we are meant to be. New job, yes. Saturn's already direct and headed all the way out of Capricorn. So, for my Capricorns, no matter which area of life you've been having a hard time in, we'll explore all 12 areas of life in Star School. We're going to break down what Saturn has been trying to liberate you from and exactly how you can begin to use that energy to get in alignment with what's meant for you. This Pluto energy right here, Pluto's Lord of the Underworld, the death, afterlife, and resurrection cycle. Jupiter will expand anything he touches. So we've got Saturn, the separator. We've got Pluto taking away dead things, snatching it off the trees. And we've got Jupiter going, oh, this is a good game. I can expand it for people. This is why 2020 has been so hard. So my caps, I want to just tell you to hang in there. We've got a hard angle here to all the cancers. Cancers, hang in there. This energy is almost over for you. We've also got a hard angle for everyone who's an Aries. Aries moon, Aries sun, Aries rising. Hang on. Libras, you too. All of the cardinal signs this year have been getting that heavy hit, and it is almost over.
Almost there, guys. Almost there. We
Yeah.
can do this.
Yeah. You totally can. You totally can. Good. I'm glad you're hanging. Yeah, this video will still be on this channel. You can watch it later, Val, I think.
Yes.
Okay,
You can,
cool.
if you don't catch the live, if you're not with us right now, you can come back later at any time and watch it. You'll have all the information below also, what we're talking about here. I want to make sure before we take other questions that we went through well, pretty much all the information about the Star School. Did we go through the, well, a little birdie told me there's a giveaway.
Yes, so I'm so excited. Allie, I've just seen you serving the community in such generous ways, like repeatedly. And I also see the way you read to set people free as opposed to reading to locking people up, trying to get them to be either dependent upon you, which is the ironic thing is you're reading to set people free and more people are like, yes, tell me everything you know, Allie.
I'm
So
hoping. That's my intent. So if that comes out as that, I'm glad.
yeah, it does. It really does, Allie. So I wanted to offer to your subscribers the opportunity to enter to win a complimentary spot in both Star School 101 and Star School 201. But there are some things you have to do to be able to secure a winning seat. There are only 4 winners. And then what you want to do in order, I'm just going to break this down real quick. Let me share screen. That's Allie breaking our chains right there. But what you have to do is you want to go to bit.ly/star school, all caps. There's where you want to go up here. And just enter the giveaway. Put your full name and tell me your email so I can contact you if you win. And then just let me know that you heard about this Star School from Allie here. And then there's a final question there that asks, what have you learned from watching this channel? Now, I don't mean what I've had to say. I want to know what you've been learning from Allie because so many of you are loyal subscribers. So many of you have been with Allie for a long time. And Allie's she's been sneaking in liberation lessons into every reading. And so, what you want to do is go ahead and tell us what you've learned from listening to her. And I'll be picking a winner. I need to give this about 24 hours so people have the opportunity to enter. And after 24 hours, I'll be announcing the winners. Now, I'm going to reach out to the winners directly, but just in case there's any glitch inside of your email, or maybe you mistyped your email, you want to know for sure if you've won, the best thing to do would be to subscribe to my channel because I will be announcing the winners over on K Moon on the community section. So you'll be able to see if who won from Allie's Tarot. Okay.
Awesome. Um,
DJ Georgie Porgy, I agree. I like the energy here. You guys are awesome.
right? It's so fast though.
I
You can't give up.
think there's a way you can slow it down.
I don't think so. I,
You've
I,
tried it before?
I tried. Yes.
Oh, well,
Because I do the Friday videos and I still have the chat room, so I tried. But
okay.
well, maybe there is. I have to dig deeper, probably.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. You do. I thought it said something about like slow down chat. I don't know how to do that, but
could
I
be,
thought I
could
saw
be.
that somewhere.
I think it's on the if I log in from the computer though. But I'll check it out for sure.
Okay.
Um,
Um,
we cover.
I think we did. Do you have, yeah, slow mode. Lexine Samuel says they have slow mode. Thanks, Lexine. We'll go find that.
Yes, we need slow mode.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so we can now go to other questions if you
Yeah.
saw something interesting.
Okay. Let's
Oh,
see.
wait, somebody asked me about my necklace, which I wanted to show because it's very in reference with. I don't know if you guys can see this. Uh,
Oh,
but
it looks like a compass.
it's my birth chart, actually.
That is cool.
I don't think it's focusing though, but yeah, this is my necklace. My crazy birth chart.
Amazing.
So yeah, see, I'm into astrology. I just didn't get the time to learn it. So I wear it around my neck.
Amazing.
It didn't focus, but yeah.
No, but that's cool. Where did you get that?
Oh, online. They get me all the time. It's like they know what I'm thinking and what I'm wanting. And then, yeah, I
Yeah.
know it's called algorithm. I know all the 3D stuff and how it works, but still, they get me all the time.
That is an interesting thing about you, I will say, because we actually had this conversation recently. Because there are some things that you had been manifesting that had come to fruition. I won't spoil all your surprises or tell all your business, but I was shocked at how like rapid your manifestation process is. I was like, and also I was also shocked because the last time I read for you, you were when I looked at your chart, it was one of the more difficult transits that a person could be in. But instead of getting, crapped on by the universe, you were actually getting reward after reward after reward. Your channel hit 500,000. Then you had this breakthrough. Then you had the following breakthrough. It was like one thing after another. And I remember pulling up your chart to be like, how is she doing this exactly? Because in everyone's chart, we have something called the axis of manifestation. So, for those of you who are into astrology or you want to find your own axis of manifestation, you can get a chart. You just pull your chart, and then you want to look at house 11 and house 5. That's your axis of manifestation. House 5 in your chart is the house of children, creative works, offspring, creative projects. It's our house of creation and creativity. House 11 in the chart is the house of hopes, wishes, dreams, and the helpful people that assist us in getting there. And so I asked you, I said, so Allie, what are you doing to manifest this stuff? And you told me what your formula was. And then
Yes.
I looked at your chart and I was like, OMG, it's literally spelled out right here how she's built to manifest. All she needs to do is use this energy that's on her fifth house and the ruler of her fifth house, and this energy that's on her 11th house and the ruler of her 11th house. and she will alchemize and attract whatever she wants.
Yeah, I think in order for that to work though, you would have to pretty much be in the flow of things or be aligned a lot with
Mhm.
yourself, with what's going on with the stars, possibly. Um, and just allow it to come in and just follow it along. Just don't go against it. I think that's my secret to my magic formula.
Well, so here, that's the thing about it, right? And I
Okay.
love that you brought that up because who said it here? Formula, please. Leanne Curanexo. Um, Here's the thing. Everyone has their own formula. The reason why Allie's formula works for Allie, and I heard this very clearly in the conversation you and I had, the reason it works for you is because you put up zero resistance between where you're at now and literally having what you want. So you get any kind of sign, any kind of message, any kind of like, move in this direction, explore this. Allie doesn't go, okay, I'll look at that later. She doesn't go, that's not quite what I wanted. Or she doesn't go, well, I don't really have money to do this right now or whatever. Allie just says yes. The minute anything in the vicinity of what she wants manifests, Allie just says yes. And that's why that's the free will part of how her destined way to manifest actually ends up working for her. She is combining both fate and free will to be a master of her life. And so that's totally doable for anyone else.
Definitely.
And in Star School, we'll be teaching you about your axis of manifestation so you can learn your formula.
Mm,
Yeah.
cool stuff.
All right. Other questions? Allie, did you have any other questions?
I think I'm clear about what's happening with the star school. If you
Astrologically?
oh well, astrologically, we'll talk about it later. Between
Oh, I didn't mean about your personal life.
astrologically, I think there were a couple of questions about the Aries, new moon, full moon. I don't even know what's coming up.
It's the Aries full moon. It's this week.
There it
Um,
is.
Trying to find it. I'm looking here. Um,
Or if you have that already done on your channel, they could watch it there.
I'll be putting
It's
it up probably tomorrow.
oh,
Um, all right. Any questions about the Aries full moon? Let's
somebody
see.
said earlier, what kind of energy will it bring, or something in that regards.
The Aries full moon?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to pull that chart back up. And while I pull it, I see a question from Alex Kara. Is it a good match of a relation with a person whose moon sign is the same sign as your own sun sign? It's such a good question.
Hmm.
When you have the sun moon conjunction, is what we call it in astrology. It is one of the most powerful, unexplainable chemical bonds you can have with another person. Um, Typically in astrology, astrologers like to see the man be the sun and the woman be the moon of any of the 12 signs. It doesn't really matter. Um, but when you have the sun moon conjunction, it is one of the most magnetic things that you can experience with another person. So that person and you will likely, as long as you both are willing and allow it, can be connected for the rest of your lives, given the strength of that kind of bond. So, we're going to deep dive on that, what it looks like, what it means, how it can express itself and feel in Star School 201, and some of the other kinds of extremely powerful bonds that you'll find in astrology. So, yeah.
That was a very good question because I had no idea that the answer would be that. That's a really cool. Now I gotta look for my perfect match
Yeah.
based on that.
Well, there are other factors too, right? Because
Yeah.
if that person's sun is square your sun or opposite your sun, that makes it makes the chemistry strong, but it's like the kind of relationship where all you want to do are the two F's. It's like we want to do the effing and then we want to do the fighting and then we want to do the more effing and then we want to do the fighting. So sometimes you got to be careful.
So it's kind of like a twin flame connection.
It can be when you've got a sun square sun or other difficult aspects there until you learn how to balance and navigate that energy. But the sun moon conjunction for sure are incredibly powerful pulls. They're like magnetic beyond words and your own control. So pay attention to that. The tighter the orb, we call the degrees apart between two planets orbs in astrology. The tighter the orb, the stronger the pull. Okay. Awesome. All right. So somebody asked you energy of the Aries full moon. Yeah, that's what we want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So the beginnings of this Aries full moon, it's coming on 10/1 at 5:05 p.m. If you happen to be on the eastern seaboard of the United States. What we have going on with this full moon is the moon at 9 degrees Aries, opposite the sun here in 9 degrees Libra. Anytime you have a full moon, the sun and the moon are in opposite signs. So this full moon is, who are you talking to? It's relatively unaspected for the most part. There's nothing with a super tight orb to to either the sun or the moon, which is interesting. The only thing that really jumps out is this Chiron energy here. Chiron is in a type orb to the moon and it's opposite the sun. So Chiron is known in astrology as the wounded healer. And so it's Chiron sustained his wound. The wound took away his immortality, but Chiron also became a teacher after getting his wound. And so, with Chiron and Aries for the next several years, Aries is the sign of the self. Aries energy is asking us, Chiron and Aries is asking us to look at wounds to our sense of self, our essence, and who we are. Because Aries is a fire energy, it's necessarily impacting all the other fire energies as well. So, our healthy sense of ego, Leo, and our sense of our ideas and ideals, Sagittarius, and where we want to go in our lives, wounds that have been perpetrated against us and indulged in, co signed by us to our sense of self, are what's going to come up to be examined during this full moon. When you start to see these wounds surface, it's going to be easy, especially with this Mars Lilith energy that we've already talked about, to go, oh man, never again. I quit. I've got my backup. Here's the boundary. Don't anybody cross it. Fire. It's going to be very easy to slip into that. I need to protect myself from the world energy. Okay. So if you find defensiveness coming up for you, it's okay. That's in the ether for all of us. What the defensiveness is actually trying to teach us is where we need to reset our boundaries, where we need to better define who we are for ourselves and be the self that we really can live with. That's some of the energy of this full moon. It's going to illuminate wounds. It's also going to end a cycle. And some of this clarity isn't going to come until Mercury pops out here into Sagittarius. Won't be there right away. Mercury is going to do a retrograde dance here in Scorpio. Because the Mercury energy is going to be what we as astrologers call in conjunct or quincunx, the full moon energy. The quincunx energy is like one thing being expressed at a time. And so, what we get expressed with this full moon is not the clarity, um, which has Mercury in Scorpio and moving retrograde. Instead, what we get is the wounding being the loudest. The clarity will come after Mercury finishes its retrograde and pulls out here into Sagittarius. So hang in there, take notes, be a good journaler and investigator of your life, because this is a time when what's going to be revealed to you are the places where you can be kinder to yourself, more loving to yourself, based on where you're still hurting from things from the past.
Super duper.
You're so funny.
Well, I want to take this class, and I'm only thinking, I can't right now.
It's okay. You'll
So
be able to enroll later.
for the ones that can't make it in the first round, you will open up again?
Yeah, it likely will be in the new year though.
Okay.
But timeline wise, it won't be, forever and ever away. It will be later. So, but the enrollment will be open for a little bit. Like I know some people, um, we're about to hit the first. Some people have rent, car note, those kind of things due. That's fine. Pay your bills. I don't want you to be irresponsible with your money. Um, but then we do start on October 7th. So it'll be a week after the first. So you'll have at least, another Friday's paycheck or what have you in there to get what you need to enroll if you want to do so. And then enrollment will stay open for a little bit longer after that. But if you can join before the 7th, do, because the way this class is set up, let me just share a screen.
Awesome, because I think somebody asked about the format.
Yeah, let me show you. Because this is really set up for people who are all around the world, different jobs, different time zones, all of that. So let me come up here to my classes. Enroll in Star School now. Sign up here. All right. So the way class is set up is there are classes at 7 o'clock on consecutive Wednesdays,
Eastern time.
Eastern time, but they're all pre-recorded. So if you don't get off of work at that time in your time zone, or if you've got the kids or other commitments at that time, you can watch it at a time that works for you. Each class is going to immediately be followed by a 60 to 90-minute office hours session that is live for questions and discussions on the class content.
Nice.
Yeah. And so they're 4 consecutive for Star School 101, and then we roll directly into Star School 201 here in November. Okay. And then if you can't make the office hours live, there will be a way for you to submit your questions so that you can join. You can get your questions answered during the office hours. And you don't have, let's say you are just starting class 1, but we're on office hours 3. Still submit your questions. The questions will be helpful for everyone. So I'll be happy to answer them. You don't have to join live if you can't. So hopefully that answered the question for
Seems
who asked
pretty
about the
clear.
format.
Well,
Okay.
you know what? Now it's so clear that I think I will sign up.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
I
Yeah. It was,
think that's doable. One of the big personal things that I needed to take care of is pretty much taken care of. So I think that leaves me space for this. Yeah. Yeah. See you there. Let's see. Oh, I think we lost you for a little bit. Okay, so while we're waiting for K Moon to be back, any more questions, guy? Is either about the star school or
Or astrology.
astrology. We
Yeah.
lost you there for a little bit, so I was trying to get them busy with
Oh.
questions.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So a lot of people have like kind of individual questions about what's going on for their sign.
yeah,
Um, Citra Oliviani, I don't know. I don't think so because each sign that you incarnate in is, different lessons for that lifetime. And I don't believe you would incarnate to learn the exact same lesson every single lifetime. There would not be a point to that. Um, and thank you, Pamela. That's very generous of you. Um, Here's something I want to just share with you guys because so many of you have asked, well, what about this sign? And what about that sign? And what about this? And what about
mhm,
that? Can you break it down for every single sign? Just show me for my sign, all 12 signs, what this means. So here's what I want to say about that for you guys. If you find your way over to my channel, I did something like that for the year. So that Capricorn energy that we talked about for the cardinal signs, I did do a breakdown and what that energy meant for all 12 signs. And you can find that. I'll just show you where that lives over on my channel. There we go. Share screen. Bum-ba-de-ba. All right, so over here on my channel, this is the K Moon channel, you'll find 3 videos that I did that detailed significant changes. Um, Aries, Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn. You guys are the cardinal signs. Cardinal signs are the energy of initiation. These 3 signs start off a new season. And so there's significant changes in energies for these 4 signs. However, inside this recording, I also mapped out what those changes mean for all 12 signs. Gemini, Sagittarius, and Virgo, you guys are here. I've got a special message just for you because the nodes changed signs into Sag and Gemini, but that necessarily is going to impact Virgo and Pisces, the other mutable signs. I detail how this impacts you guys, but I also mapped out what the nodes changing signs mean for all 12 signs. And then lastly, Taurus, Scorpio, and Leo. You and Aquarius, you guys are the fixed signs. There's some things that shifted for you that have put you in a very specific time period through 2025. I mapped out what that is for you guys, what it's asking you to do, but I also mapped it out for all 12 signs. So if you want to kind of get a better sense of just energetically what's happening for my sign, go through those 3 videos because it'll map it out for you what's going on for each of the 12 signs. And then some people asked about the giveaway again. So I'll just quickly
yeah.
share that again. So, what you want to do, share screen, share the things. All right. So, what you want to do is take yourself over to bit.ly/star school. And you want to put it in all caps to make sure you get to the right place. If it's not all caps, you'll get an error message. So make sure it's all caps, bit.ly/star school. And when you go here, you're going to see this form that you fill out. You've got 24 hours from the time of this broadcast. Fill out this form, and I'll pick 4 winners at random. And then what I'll do is I'll announce them over on my channel. And then I'll also be emailing the winners directly. So if you'd like to enter to win, you definitely can. Okay. Great question.
Yeah.
Chloe, you should watch, you can watch all 3 videos. I would pay attention to your sun, moon, and rising sign. Those 3 tend to have the biggest impact on the experience of our lives. Mm-mm-mm. Awesome, Regina. I look forward to seeing you in class. You're welcome, Citra Oliviani. Great to have you here. Thank you, Paige. I really look forward to having you in class. If you don't have your birth time, it's totally okay. If you don't have your birth time, I will, in the 101 class, be teaching you how to understand what goes on, how to read your own chart without your birth time. Okay. Awesome. So hopefully you guys got some interesting, some fun info here. Thank you so much, Northern Comfort. I appreciate you. Yes, Hoshizawa, is there a way to find out on your chart what can make you happy or what your purpose is? Great question. And this is precisely the kind of question we'll be answering during office hours. And for the woman who continues to ask, I'm a Virgo and I'm continually attracted to Scorpios, or I'm Scorpio, and there's like 6 of them that she's been dealing with. Um, that kind of stuff we'll also look at in office hours, because without seeing your chart, I have no idea why you're in that situation. Yes, so there is a way to find out what would make you happy and fun. In fact, one of my favorite questions that one of my clients asked me most recently, she had just left a job. She was getting ready to start another one, but she had planned out a month in between. And she said, "Kay, I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. I don't know how to have fun. Can you just, can my chart tell me anything about how I'm supposed to have fun?" And I said to her, "Yeah, actually, it can." And so we looked for her, it was her 5th house, where creativity lives, where that kind of opportunity to step into the world of play lives. And we also looked at the sign of Leo as well, because Leo's the sign associated with the 5th house. And then we looked at the planetary energies around them. So you can, for sure, in your chart, look at for purpose. We'll talk a bit more about that during office hours. It's a bit more complicated. We have to look out a few different houses for that. And what was the other piece of it? I can't remember now. I lost where you were. But yeah, all of that. Okay. For the scholarship, do we need to reference Allie's channel? There is a place on that form that gives you the opportunity to say, where did you hear about Star School from? If you've heard about Star School from Allie, Soul Journey, yes, just click her and I'll know that I'm putting you in her giveaway group. Okay. Um, and then Soul Journey, it's fine. You can put Allie in here. That's fine, even if you heard about it from me. Andy's tarot, is this only for Western astrology or does it cover Vedic as well? Andy, I'm not a Vedic astrologer. I am a Western astrologer. I don't practice sidereal. I do practice tropical, and you'll find the answer to that question and more in the FAQ section. Awesome gymnastics. I can't wait to see you. Michael, yes. Lots of karmic cycles ending. I agree. You're welcome, JRE. It's going to be fun. Okay. And thank you, New Jersey Rock Girl and Northern Comfort Tarot. You guys are amazing. Richard Tomlinson, yes. In fact, I do have a what I call the 2020 astrology playlist over in my YouTube playlist. It used to be called the pandemic playlist, but uh, I I found out that it was actually being blocked because they didn't want people doing stuff about it. So you can find all the pandemic information in the 2020 playlist. I curated the best of the best astrologers on the topic and put them in that playlist so that you can really dig into what was happening as the situation broke out and what's going to happen next. There are a lot of people who've done excellent work in their research in laying out what's going on. Pamela asked, can you pay half now and the other half at a deadline if you want to do both classes, 101 and 201? Unfortunately, my system isn't set up to be able to take two payments in that way, Pamela. I wish that might be something I can offer in the future, but not for this round. All right. Yay, Christy Lee Carney. Yeah, Allie's giveaway group. Totally. And thank you on Allie's behalf for everyone who's donated. Like, you guys are so good. You're such a great group. I love seeing you guys support her.
Yeah, thank you all. Thank you for being here and giving out this information. I think a lot of people liked this content and were actually kind of eager for it, from what I can see. So thanks for coming. Thanks for all the beautiful words that you had towards all of this here. Thank you to each of you that are joining us and coming up with very cool questions. As I said, I could sit here forever and do this.
I know, and you guys are asking such good questions.
Yeah.
So many of them are personal. So some of the personal
Yeah.
questions I can't get into like heavily because one, I don't have your chart in front of me. Two, it is important to me that if you really want support, that you come to a forum that's built for it. And that's why this Star School office hours are like 60 to 90 minutes of deep dive conversation. So if you want that kind of support, that's where I'm offering it. Like, what does it mean to have sun in the 12th house? What does it mean when this and this is conjunct in my chart? What does this mean? What does that mean? Office hours is the place where we're going to break all that kind of stuff down. And you'll get the opportunity to know your chart. Again, one of the things I'm most excited about for Star School is that it's a workshop based class. So every single class, you're going to have your chart out, you're going to roll up your sleeves. I'm going to have you filling in information so that you understand every single house and every single planet in your own chart. And if you're already super familiar with your chart, we're going to use the chart of someone you love instead so that you can better get to know who they are and why they are the way they are. Okay. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So thank you everyone for being here. Allie, thank you for inviting and hosting me to your audience and inviting your audience here today. It was such a treat. You guys asked such good questions, and I would love to see you all in Star School.
We'll be there.
Yay! Awesome. All right. So you'll find the link below this video. After it's finished uploading, you can check right back into Star School if you like. And in the meantime, we're going to tune into more Allie's Tarot to find out what the heck is happening next week with these energies.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I didn't quite do it for next week, but we'll see. I guess we'll see.
I want to know what's happening.
Yeah. I want to know too.
Should we end here, Allie?
I think so. I think we covered everything, right?
I think so too.
We went over
Thanks for
everything.
asking great questions, you guys. I'll see you all soon. Take great care.
Awesome. Yeah. Bye.